Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJOmega channel for day 1759 of our daily content grind. It's Monday, it's News Roundup, it's a huge news roundup. We're gonna go through things a lot faster than we normally do, or we will never end this video. We're gonna start with the teaser image that absolutely broke me. The first color shot we got of the upcoming New Legends Beast Wars 2nd Galvatron. It's pink. It is a glorious shade of pink. The original toy was pink too, but leaning more on the lavender side of pink, meaning it was not entirely screen accurate. This is entirely screen accurate. He's supposed to be bright pink, super bright pink. So, this is exceptionally exciting for me to see. And then Takara decided, oh, we'll just show you the whole thing and everything it does. Okay, so we've got a dragon mode that looks more articulated than the original, especially in like the hips and things. I'm losing my mind just looking at it. Drill mode looks great. You can see that there is a hinge to the dragon tail now, so it is not stuck in the one curve position. You can adjust the angle, which is neat. Breaks up the look a little bit, but not terrible. I'd rather have the functionality. The backpack is way smoother. On the original, the drill kind of stuck out diagonally behind him, which made keeping him on a shelf a nightmare, but this one, he does seem to have it all going straight down, so everything looks a lot cleaner. He'll be easier to shelf display. He does have the old trick, which is the backpack coming off and becoming a gigantic pincer weapon, which is cool. But he also has a new trick where he can also uncurl the tails from his forearms and mount his blades to him, so he has these big old stabby blades now. That's cool. I like that. I like this a lot. The toy does a lot. I'm happy. I'm very happy. It looks really cool. Oh, I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited for this, and to be on such a huge scale too. Like, oh my god, it's rare. I am so excited for a Transformer toy. It really is. Like, this is everything I wanted and then some when it comes to a brand new Beast Wars 2nd Galvatron. I'm just, like, deliriously excited for how well it came out. We are getting the pre-order launch in 2 days. We still do not have an official price for this. It is probably going to cost a lot on top of everything it would cost to import. Hopefully, Hasbro Pulse and Big Bad do what they can to get in this stuff, so at least that part of it is taken care of. The import side of it is handled. But fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. This is going to hurt my wallet, and I'm going to enjoy it. Don't read into that. Let's move on. We also had the full reveal for Blaster and everything he does and comes with. Now, the weird thing about this that I've noticed, you know what, I'll tell you about the weird thing later. Let's focus on the good here. So everything does look really nice. I do like the silly things like, you know, the big speaker weapons for his arms. I do like that he comes with sound waves that you can plug into the boombox mode. Gives that mode some much needed playability. Let's see, what else? I do... One, it is weird to see that Eject only comes with one gun instead of two. That seems like an oversight. If they budgeted out the second gun that he would normally have from the original toy, that would be weird. But also, yeah, like seeing him riding on top of Ramhorn is funny. Ramhorn does look good too. So, yeah, they do everything I pretty much wanted them to do. They come with actual, like, little cassette holders, same way that Soundwave's cassettes did. So all of that works really well. You get the alternate face, you're getting alternate screens. So like Blaster had a thing in the original cartoon where he could open up his chest and there'd be like a display monitor for readings and all that. That is what the blue piece is for, to give you that monitor look inside of his torso. Cool. That's a nice little touch. So the whole set itself does look good. The weird thing to me is that I'm a little bit suspect of the poses and positions they have chosen for these stock images. because I can't get a read on the proportions of the toy. The legs are super huge. You know, that's just how Blaster always looks. But I'm worried about how scrawny those arms are going to look, because I imagine those unfolding. It doesn't seem like they come down far enough. It seems like they might feel a little thin. Obviously, we've seen the prototype, so you can see the proportions, but it does hit different when you see it in color. So I'm just a little bit sus that they're like hiding that a little bit by never showing the arms and below the waist at the same time. And the curled up, arm up pose that he's doing there is not helping. I don't know, my little weird paranoias and observations. All right, we have a ton of in-hand toys that we can take a look at this week, starting with Swindle, who is probably pretty close to release at this point. Swindle continues to look very, very good, with his only blemish being just some kibble underneath the forearms, and obviously the Jeep being a little bit thicker than you might expect his Jeep mode to be. But otherwise, I'm happy with how he came out. Looks like he still works pretty well as the leg for Bruticus. Wish the arms were cleaned up a little bit in that mode, though. I don't like that they're just hanging out the sides of him. That seems sloppy. But overall, still, like, you get the proper Combaticon look out of everyone, so I can't really complain. It looks good. It works. Yeah, big comparison shots, all the Bruticus shots, all the Bruticus shots. Yes, yes, you are the side torso boys. We see this. Yeah, like like I can see where everything plugs in securely for the arms. It's just weird that like there's no way of handling those any other way. I don't know, he looks good. He does look good. I don't know, like, Voyager price point. I don't think he's gonna hit the same note as Braun did, where he just feels really, really good. He's just expensive. We'll see. Moving on to Joyride. Feels like we just got this guy announced and someone already has one in hand. So it's essentially a retool. I'm hang on. Is there something noting this? No. Okay, so news topic doesn't note why the original photographer is drawing circles over these sections of the toy. I don't know if he's indicating damage, molding changes, or what, but we're here to just see how the toy itself came out, which does look good enough. I've never been huge on the character because he barely appeared in anything, but it's cool that we're getting all of these other characters out of the way. All those like middle G1 characters, they tend to get toys very, very rarely, and he does look good for what he is. I do. He's not high on my priority list, but I like him well enough. Okay, let's see how 86 Cliffjumper came out. This is a retool of our 86 Bumblebee figure, so he's standing just as high as said figure, meaning $27.99 for a toy that's small in the box. Get ready for it. Also, he does not come with his bazooka. He's the first time I've seen Cliffjumper omit the bazooka. It's weird. When they wanted to charge 25 bucks for a Cliffjumper that was accurately scaled to the other deluxes, they were like, but we need to throw something in to make up for the size. And now it's just like, no, it's $28. Suck it. Robot mode itself looks fine. I don't know if it's I'm looking at my Buzzworthy Cliffjumper over there, and I understand torso is in the proper arrangement here, but I don't know if I like it well enough to switch up. Also, yeah, like it's the Penny Racer style vehicle mode. I'm glad they actually did the effort of retooling Bumblebee to actually look more accurate to it. We also have, the spoiler in the back. That gray piece bugs me so bad. I hate when they do this, when just some random palm plastic is thrown in and they're like, you couldn't even do that piece in red plastic instead. You had to gang mold it with the gray. Oh well. Actually, aside from the forearms, I think everything would have looked better if they had just done it in black or red. Oh well. Oh, well, I guess they have to leave some room for improvement or they wouldn't be able to re-release this toy later on in a slightly adjusted color scheme. Hint, hint. But no, it looks fine. I don't know if it's worth changing up, but hey, if you want a smaller Cliffjumper, because he's a small guy, there is a smaller one on the way. And as you saw the arm of Vector Prime in that shot, we might as well go to Vector Prime now, who does look absolutely gorgeous. I do like that the intricate paint from the original toy is returned here. I like the chest with the intermixing black and silver paint apps. That works really well. Like that the sword is fully painted. The sword's looking so nice. Everyone thought it was new tooling when it wasn't. Yeah, so if I recall, the original version of this toy when it came out for Cybertron was not fully painted. It did not have the paint on the solar panels here, but we got them here. So it actually, in a weird way, is done up better than the original toy was. It's just interesting that of all characters, they decide this is the one we're actually going to do the Cybertron repaint color scoot to, because they let so many really good repaints of their current toys just sit by the wayside and never actually make them. This is nice to see. This is nice to see. Also, yes, if we are going for like the ancient aesthetic with the primes, not only does this fit in with the Covenant color scheme a little bit more, but also, yeah, the gold is going to look a lot more ancient. It's nice that they give you a flavor of your Vector Prime, whichever one you decide that you like the most. Studio Series Transformers 1 Deluxe Soundwave. Let's see how this one... Now, so this one is divisive because the vehicle mode is just odd. Robot mode looks fine. It's got that, it's got that big box chest that he had in the actual movie. The proportions are good. Looks like the paint and articulation are done well. I like the speaker design on the shoulders. It's all down to that vehicle mode, right? Because I feel like they did the Siege figure. Or not even the Siege figure. No, it was the Bumblebee movie figure, and I feel like that just informed how they want to engineer sound waves from now on if they're Cybertronian. So we get, weird block spaceship instead, and I'm not sure how I feel about weird block spaceship. I don't know, it looks okay in the robot mode. I don't know about the vehicle mode, and I'm someone who defended that block spaceship the Bumblebee one turned into. I actually kind of like that one. This one with the big panels coming off the back and being a little bit more rudimentary in design just kind of feels, I don't know, thrown together? I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this one. I don't have the greatest confidence in it, but we'll see how it is in hand. Maybe the transformation will impress. Who knows? Here's one where the transformation will probably not impress. This is Age of Extinction Bumblebee, brand new Studio Series Deluxe Bumblebee on the way, because we always need to have more Studio Series Bumblebees out there. Now, the robot mode looks okay from the waist up. It is the legs obviously looking like a bunch of car panels crumpled together like a wad of paper that really gets on my nerves here. Also, this is basically what it is. The entirety of the car outside of like the front end is entirely unfolded from the legs. So on one hand, you could applaud that level of engineering. On the other hand, man, like he really is just a modern shell former. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about it. I really, really don't. Now, I will give it this much credit. I will play devil's advocate. I'm looking at that seam down the side. I'm like, why didn't we engineer Revenge of the Fallen sideways like this? I will play devil's advocate enough to admit. I actually do like the size of this one. I will say that. I do like the size of this Bumblebee. I will give it that much credit. I will admit the design they did in Age of Extinction is freaking impossible to actually make into something that functions as a normal transformer, because they really did not think about, logic and like real world practicality in how they designed that robot mode. Like it is not designed to transform. So this is probably the only option they had of getting a screen accurate robot mode and still getting it to turn into the Camaro. So necessary evils, I guess. I just don't see this being very thrilling as a Transformer toy is all, but we'll see. Okay, let's go to Cyberworld in hand. So much, there's so much this week. Oh my god. All right. Cyberworld has given us another new deluxe, which is Jazz as a polar bear, which is again a super weird choice, but this is a toy line all about weird choices. And I do kind of applaud the sense of adventure they have with that, not just going with, well, we want to do Jazz in the show, better make some kind of fake Porsche. Nope, polar bear. Also, something I did not realize on these new figures is that I believe they all have an element of glow in the dark, aside from being translucent in the torso, so they can all do that light up gimmick with Bumblebee. Also, yeah, it's this was actually my concern was with Cheetor, how similar would the two be? Not very similar, as a matter of fact. I thought they would share tooling being so close together. I'm actually surprised Jazz is notably buffer and bigger. Okay, cool. I will accept that. This is the part. They have glow-in-the-dark paint. So I guess, hey, as long as we're painting something, might as well make it glow-in-the-dark, right? So this guy has a bit of glow element to him no matter what you're doing with him, whether you're using the Bumblebee light-up gimmick or not. They continue to just be inoffensive little figures. They're never going to blow you away, but they're nice little fiddle things if one design hits you the right way. I'm not going to knock them. Here's an interesting development. So this is a Prime Changer Mirage. So the the deluxes and the white generic white box that we have sitting beside the the Generations and Studio Series Transformers. It just seemed to be like an excuse to have Optimus, Megatron, and Bumblebee out on the shelves at all times. This is from that series. This is not Authentics, technically. This is not it is a budget deluxe, but it's also not, because it's a deluxe in the standard of like not Cyberworld, Earthrise and Cyberverse before it, which is fine. You can definitely tell it's cheaper, but they still managed to make really good toys at that budget. It's a weird take on Mirage. It's a far bulkier take on an F1 car than I've ever seen. Head sculpt looks okay. Transformation actually doesn't look too bad. There's a little bit of like kibble going on, but it's nothing terrible. Looks like it wears it fairly well. More about like how posable this guy is going to be despite it. He doesn't look bad. He does not look bad, and this gives me hope. So I really was worried that those Prime Changers would not continue beyond just the 3 that exist, because I've not seen them have any motion or announcements of any kind whatsoever of anything new. And I'm still hoping that that toy line is where they give you a rerun of Earthspark Soundwave, as well as Earthspark Cosmos finally getting a release. I'm still, my fingers crossed, hoping that happens. So the fact that they're doing new molds for that particular toy range gives me a little bit of hope that that might be possible. The weird thing about this Mirage is, for some reason, they do have this like a bright blue flame deco on it. And I'm not sure why they thought they needed it, but it seems to be a thing across the Authentics figures. So here's another new thing we're getting. It's another Mega Changer 4-pack, just like the ones that have been sitting at Target for the last year that are completely unsellable. Yeah, they're going to run those back because, they sold so well, apparently. But the weird thing to this is that all of them do have that same kind of like Energon flame deco going on. And I'm honestly not a fan of how it looks. Like, these look knockoff in like the worst way. I know they're trying to play into the Energon Surge thing that Cyberworld is doing, but the bright blue in random spots, especially the wheels, like the bright purples that are coming through on the Decepticons, it feels like a knockoff thing. And those flames are exactly what I expect. Like, I've seen deco like that on knockoffs that are just trying to make these toys look cool without really adding any real, coolness to it. It's just trying to fake it. I don't know, like, this seems ill-advised. This seems ill-advised when, like, the last time they did this 4-pack, like, it sat around forever. unsold. I don't know why. I don't know why they would try this again. But whatever. Whatever. Not for me. Not going to complain about it. We're just going to move on and go to the next topic. We have product listings for the Tiny Titans coming back. Nothing really to speak of here other than to let you know, yeah, this is progressing. The Tiny Titans, little non-transforming things they did during RID 2015, they're on their way back. Because, of course, this is a very easy way of keeping a hold of trademarks without putting a whole lot of financial investment in a toy line. So far, the only names we have attached to it are Optimus, Bumblebee, Soundwave, Shockwave, Elite One, Grimlock, and I'm sure a lot of the other standards like Megatron, Starscream, etc. will be there eventually. I'm more interested in what weird characters are going to be included in this. Not just like the household names, but the oddballs that are going to get included. We don't have any official picks. This is an old one. But with a knife Unicron, which I keep forgetting was a thing. But we'll see. Yeah, we just know that this is on the way. Speaking of, we also know that the Voyager Cyber Shark is on the way. We have all the details now for it, and big surprise, it is basically described exactly the same way as Skybite. It is just a straight up repaint, but this is just telling you, no, it wasn't canceled. Yes, this is still on the way. For those who actually have memories of a Cyber Shark toy, you will have a brand new one on the shelf soon. Honestly, I had Cyber Shark before I had Skybite. I kind of have some nostalgia for this. I might actually go for this depending on how it turned out. And we have a description for the Scooby-Doo collab, which is called Mysterious Prime and Automutt. So this one actually does inform us a little bit. Mysterion Prime converts between robot and mystery machine inspired van. Automutt converts between a Scooby-Doo robot and a Scooby Snacks box. Includes 4 swappable heads and additional accessories. So it sounds like we're going to get heads based on the usual crew from Mysteries Inc. And it doesn't sound like it's going to be any kind of Soundwave because it's a van. And because it comes with something that acts as a box, I'm going to assume this is going to end up being a retool of Frequency. I mean, the fact that it is a Mystery Machine inspired van tells me that it is not an exact replica of the Mystery Machine. So that might just indicate it being, a repaint with swappable heads instead. I do think it's at least a good shout because, I don't see a Scooby Snack box being made of Ravage. It'd be hysterical for them to actually try to repaint Ravage into Scooby-Doo. I do feel like that's going to be a brand new mold that's going to replace the 8 tracks in the Frequency toy. But that is just me. I am excited for this one. I am looking forward to seeing how this one turns out. Hi, I have to jump back into this video because right after I finished recording the whole news roundup, the images for the Scooby-Doo collab released. I was completely wrong. It is not, in fact, a retool of Frequency. It is a completely new tool in and all itself, as most of the collabs tend to be. Should have guessed that, actually. And the toy itself is straight up a recreation of the Mystery Machine. When they said it is like a, inspired by, I kind of felt like this was going to be just a repaint of something similar. No, we have a completely new figure here. And the speculation on Scooby being a brand new toy, that was correct. The swappable heads being the crew, that was correct, but very easy to guess. They all managed, it's fascinating. They all managed to look like themselves, but they are also, I don't know, it's weirdly uncanny to see the entire Scooby-Doo cast with robot heads. I do like that they actually included the neckerchiefs for Fred and Daphne. That's actually a really good touch. It's weird, but it's fun, like this works in like the strangest of ways. I do like that they have a flashlight and camera accessory, so they don't have like traditional Transformer weapons or so. I could stand for the flashlight to look a little bit more like a flashlight. I don't know. As it stands, it kind of looks like a meat tenderizer. But no, this looks good. This actually looks really, really good. I like how cartoony the vehicle mode is. I like how they didn't skimp on the paint and the tampograph to make it look correct. What I really like is it seems that those heads are actually using the Titan's Return style head swap. That does mean not only can you kind of infer the scale of this figure as we're being like a large deluxe or smallish Voyager, you can also swap in any of your Titan Return heads to pilot the Mystery Machine's robot mode. Mysterious Prime could literally have Optimus Prime's head if you so chose. Oh, there's going to be some fun things. There's going to be some fun antics happening with this toy. I can already see it. So no, it looks fun. It looks cute. So yeah, I'm sorry to make a super long news roundup video even longer, but considering this dropped so close, like I couldn't wait a week to talk about it. We had to throw it in. So hey, I got all my speculation wrong. Moving on. We have another listing to tell you about. They are reissuing Sludge. The one Dinobot I think nobody had any trouble finding. I saw this guy all over the place shelf warming, but just in case you missed out, you're going to get another shot for everyone who was late to the game when it came to the Dinobots. You get one more go. See, the Transformers Energon Surge website is now online. So for those following Cyberworld, there's some press photos, there's some links to where to buy them at Walmart, etc., and a few mini games to play. Not a huge news story, but I thought, it's a big enough news week. Might as well throw in everything. So if you want to play a few mini games based on the current cartoon, there you go. There's a website for you. Let's go into license partners now. So we have this MDLX Megatron based on the Hero Megatron from G2, which is a fascinating choice to make as it's a design. Honestly, I think like one of the more obscure Megatrons at this point. When you think G2 Megatron, you go to green and purple, not purple and black. It's not a bad look on a G1 Megatron toy. I will admit that. The bright blue on the fusion cannon is throwing me off. That part is a little bit weird. But no, it's not a bad option for like an alternate Megatron color scheme. It doesn't actually look too bad on this design. It's an oddball one, but hey, we need oddball ones every now and then. Oh, and speaking of, Shattered Glass Goldbug from the Rise of the Beast design. So this is DLX, not MDLX. So this is their larger, more expensive line. And this is the kind of thing that at like MDLX is smaller. They're like 7-inch scale figures. And like generally they're at a price point where I'm like, yes, they're high quality. I can spring for one of these on occasion. This is a little bit more. I think this is like around $100 range and a little bit bigger. This is weird and wild to me. So aside from the fact that we've never seen Goldbug in the movies, and we've never seen Shattered Glass in the movies, this is a wild one to actually show. I do think it looks really cool. I will give it that. The look of it is pretty incredible. I think the fact that it comes with the Siege Bazooka is hysterical, considering that is not Bumblebee's accessory. It just got lumped into a lot of Bumblebees because of gang molding with that Cliffjumper mold. Okay, so funny that it gets included. Funny that it gets included. Hey, gives you more to do, I guess. Yeah, it is a cool looking figure. Like it's cool. It's very weird and nonsensical, but like it's gold on black. You're not really going to do wrong there. And like even like the blue helmet tends to pop on this really well. And yeah, it does look good on the other Shattered Glass figures they've done. It's nice to see that that era of Transformers continued. So yeah, fun design. Cool looking toy. Not sure it's going to be for me, but cool looking toy. Flame Toys Kurakara Kuri announced a Skywarp repaint of their Starscream. And it pains me that this is as close to an official release as my dream repaint has ever gotten. No, it is not Cybertron Skywarp. It is G1 Skywarp, heavily stylized. with arm weapons that happen to look like the weapons from Cybertron. It's a half and half figure, and it's not ticking the box the way I need it to. It is cool looking, I will give it that. Skywarp's color schemes are nearly impossible to get wrong. Black, silver, and purple, a little bit of gold here. You're not going to get that color scheme wrong unless you absolutely try your hardest to do it. So it looks cool, but Kurokarakuri is also a $400 toy line. I cannot spring for that. That will not be happening. Let's go to the more affordable companies, shall we? Yellow Park showing off their upcoming Ironhide in their movie line, and he looks appropriately detailed. Lots of things going on here. Yeah, I mean, I talk up Yellow Park all the time, and it's not for no reason. They do genuinely incredible work. Yeah, and the detail level on this is really, really impressive. Like, really impressive. It's a big, heavy set figure. I'm genuinely like, well, I was gonna say like I'm genuinely like wondering how like he's keeping up all of his parts, like especially those big arm cannons on his arms. But I also know from experience, Yellow Park tends to use metal joints for their shoulders, so that can actually hold a considerable amount of weight. So this doesn't not worry me. Obviously, it's movie design, so I'm kind of like half and half. I do have like '07 movie nostalgia though. So we'll see how it turns out. I'm assuming if it's anything like the other Yellow Parks I've experienced, it's gonna turn out pretty good. We move on to Aldi, who is showing off a preview image for their upcoming comic book inspired line of characters. Amongst all the things that we see down there, I'm seeing a Prowl. I am seeing multiple Optimus Primes, including one Orion Pax. We have the minor Megatron. We've got a Starscream, and fascinatingly enough, we have a Senator Shockwave. You know, pre like Cyclopsing. It's a cool lineup, and I'm not going to argue the Stormbringer Optimus Prime design. That's always going to be a cool design to pull out. So these are relatively inexpensive figures. So if you like these designs, it's a affordable way of having one on your desk. And we're going to finish it off with this random countdown calendar. It's an advent calendar that has nothing to do with the holidays, because I believe this is just out. This is one of those like authentics releases. There's no press release about or anything. It's just, hey, here it is. So what's inside are repainted bots, repainted to be more inspired by the G1 cast. So just for the sake of spoiler or whatever, because this is the whole point of this is a surprise box, I will tell you that the last news story of the last slide I'm going to go to here is going to be showing what's inside. So if you want to pick this up and have some fun discovering it for yourself, then this is where you can leave the video. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time. For everyone else, let us dig in and I'll show you exactly what you are getting. This is basically a bunch of bots designed to be G1 characters, and they've not done any new tooling for them. It's all pre-existing bots. It's literally just whoever's the closest. So your Elita 1 is just the teddy bear bot. We have a Constructicon, which I assume is Long Arm from the little Zamboni machine. Oh my god, the Bumblebee head just printed on the box is hysterical. Yeah, yes. Oh, they tried. They tried. Okay, so it's a little juice box with a Bumblebee emblem there. We have, Elita 1 as the little teddy bear. Of course, they're going to give the girl something girly. The Autobot symbol makes a return because it's the only genuine Transformer emblem, like the actual Transformer bot they made. So here's a coffee maker that did have a T-Rex as its robot mode, so they just made it Grimlock. It's just Grimlock as a T-Rex, which is hysterical. Okay, we've got Optimus Prime, who in this form, I will admit, like seeing the bumper and the grill, like and all that in the front is actually kind of clever. but he is just a coffee cup in this one. We have our Constructicon. I'm assuming it's long haul based on the fact that it's, vehicle shaped like this. Let's see. We have Megatron, who does get an accessory. He gets a blast effect. Now he is turning into a camcorder, like an old school, like 80s style handheld camcorder that looked like a gun. So technically, yes, congratulations, you got a gun, Megatron, at last. I want to say this is the only one with some tooling to it, because the chest actually does look like Megatron. I don't remember the original one. It's been a long time since I messed with this bot, so I don't know if they've retooled that or if I'm just, like, gaslighting myself. But still, it's a funny way to include it. It's a funny way to include it. Oh, also, since there's an Autobot logo, here's your Decepticon logo. It's the hockey puck. It's the transforming hockey puck. They've just tamper-graphed a Decepticon emblem on it. Here's your Soundwave. Soundwave looking appropriately blocky. I like that he still has little horns. Smartphone, which, you know what, is actually kind of appropriate. This Starscream is unfortunate. This Starscream is hysterical. It's the Jetpack bot, which I guess is as close as they could come. It's just so funny to me, just to see Starscream's face just plastered on it. Oh, God. It's goofy, oddball stuff, it's not to be taken seriously or anything like that, but you know what, it's just a funny thing for them to do. So, whatever, it's goofy, I approve. Alright, that's gonna do it for me today, so thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Oh my god, we've almost gone double the length that these normally go for. I need to go rest my voice. But thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time. Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.